Hello. Carina Nebula Verlag is a little publishing house which is able to produce own self-published literary books in contract with the bookmaker Epubli in Berlin. The product line contains books out of older German and world literature works and books from today of Peter Reinen as author himself. Every book of Carina Nebula Verlag has an own concept and an idea which is new in cover and pages. The book Deutsche jüdische Dichterinnen in der Zeit von 1871 bis 1918, for example, is based on the new thesis that these women writers of this time were standing for a new progression of German poems with an extra speech and quality. This was not really depending if they could get the highest art verse, like Else Lasker Schüler, or if they did their personal poems with more comedy, more important in education or in deeper meaning. The book Schauder, Sinnlichkeit und Verwunderung shows an interest in world literature short story styles of the 19th and 20th century, which went deeper in sarcasm, satirical effects, horror feeling, or moral abstractum that possibly give a shiver of strange feeling to the reader in the known old style. Next book was Peter Reinen's own poem book in 3 parts, Wolkenhände, Eisschwan und Papyrus. He took a parallel figure of his own life to make it a comedy, moral and philosophy fool who tells about him, about Germany, the world and the news, relationships and other things in the time from 1970 to 2016. He is mostly a freelancer and he tries to make his own life in artificial context. With his sometimes strange and not really up-to-date theories, though he is able to explore reality meanings better and better. He is trying then to write chronicles in verse about years and history, getting not the real science in it and having relationship and biographical problems, he changes to write sonnets and comedy and watching or analyzing scenes. He's always the singing verse guy. Later he gets weak and takes some risk in life. Lastly, he finds a new, exotic relationship with a woman. In his partly self-pity structure in the 3 books of this work, a construction circle can be detected. The book Romanzen, Feenmärchen und Abenteuer contains stories of the 19th century in a row to give an example and development of basic ideas in adventure, European and German fey contexts and romantic theory meanings. Additionally, some remarkable steps of the feminism fey philosophy. It is like an advice, but not in the meaning of Pinocchio's way of adventure, more the advice of the romantic fey in her moral. The first stories don't have a fey advice in it, and the reader can understand why things happened different there. The fey in her advice in these old contexts stands against the persecuted witch in some deeper fields to work out the new women's wisdom after the German Aufklärung. This is part of the book concept to find out something more about it. Mr. Reinen published his first own novel in 2024, Notizen der Sabier. The novel is a half-satirical bound, which is a not very often used genre. Sabia is a young writer. She wrote some short story books before, now she is trying to get into the workspace of her first novel. She lives in H, a virtual city of today with around 20,000 people in Germany. She didn't study literature. She develops her own theories with passion and humor, finding problems in the locality theory, in the worth checking of figures, and with the deeper effects while using comedy or not. Somebody is after her. She is watched. A kind of shocking catastrophe happens and she is hurt in the nerves, in her intellectual energy and psychology. She decides not to call the police in this case. There are some reasons to avoid it. She is lucky to get help and recover step by step. With a man who came new into her life and while finding some new and old friends. In the city of H, at night some strange things happen. The new group around Sabia gets more and more close. Some problems can be solved. Another person in a very bad trap of life comes in contact with the group and they can help. The novel is a new kind, and Peter Reinen wrote it only from the perspective of Sabia, from start to end. He wanted to show this woman with the help of the half-satirical way, with some comedy, some personal deeper styles, and the elements of the society-based novel.